morning here. I'm up at the allotment. It's the middle of January and by heck it's cold, but I thought it was about time that I brought you up just to show you what either has or hasn't been going on up here as we start into a new year. So yeah, today it's going to be a nice short January tour. Wow. I suppose it's one way of getting rid of all the algae off the top of your bin. That's one way. Let's get this other bit out. There we are. There we are. All I need to do now is put a nice lid on that. And we've got rid of all the duckweed. Cold, cold. Cold, cold, cold. Very beautiful though. If we take a look at greenhouse number 1, there's nothing to see, but if we have a little look at the temperature, it will tell us, actually that's saying that the minimum has been -3. Feels like it's a little bit colder than that at night, but if that's what it says, that's clearly what it's been in the greenhouse. But certainly we've had some beautiful clear frosty nights. And then in greenhouse number 2, the poor old grapevine's looking very sorry for herself, look. But once that gets pruned back, it's going to be absolutely fine. But this had been cleared, so it's just a case of now getting everything swept up. And yeah, this will be ready to go in no time. Fruit cage just shows how shady this bit is at this time of year because that frost has not melted yet on that side. But it'll soon be time to get in and give all these a good prune back. But for now, I'm going to leave this well alone. Now these blueberries, if you saw that and you could see like all those lovely little red leaves about to pop, you'd think that looked like a nice healthy plant, wouldn't you? But if you've been following me at all over the last year or two, you'll know that they're coming to absolutely nothing. So this is the year where these little blighters are going to get dug up and put in pots filled with ericaceous compost, or as much as I can, and we'll see if it makes a difference, because I think after 3 years with a blueberry no-show, it's time to up our game. So yeah, so a bit of a change around for those this year, which will leave us with a nice empty bed here. So yeah, we're going to have to start thinking about what we're going to put in. I'm really pleased with how the garlic's looking. We've got a mixture of Germador, Messidor, Messidor, Violet and Casablanca in this bed here. So yeah, after last year's disappointing garlic crop, I've really got my fingers crossed for a good one here. What I will have to look out for is the allium leaf miner though, because we have had it on the plot, we haven't had it in this bed, but I think in a month or two I might put a cover over it just to stop any chance of them being infested. But they're looking good so far. Broad beans as well, they're okay. There are a few gaps, so let's have a look. There were 4 in each row, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got a gap there. I've got, actually, so 4, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of 5 rows of 4. So I should have 20 beans there. Yeah, I suppose it's over 50%, but I'm just glad to have them in because they've had a really good start. And if you look at how healthy they are, let's just see. Okay, that one's been nibbled a bit, but really nice, strong, healthy plants, or at least the ones that have survived are. So yeah, again, just really glad to get them underway this early in the year. purple sprouting broccoli, still fighting to get out of its netting there. But it's going to stay on for a little bit longer because the pigeons are very hungry at this time of year, as I'll show you in a minute when we look at the kale. So yeah, looking forward to being able to harvest some of those in a month or two. And here we've got some celery that's actually been in from last year, and I must admit, I don't think I've harvested hardly any of it, but actually I think I have left it in. I'm just going to leave that be and see what happens this year round. Does it come again? I don't know if celery's perennial, but I mean, certainly those leaves are edible. You know, they'd be lovely in soups and things. I just haven't harvested any. So let me know, do you leave your celery in? Is it supposed to look like this? Is it because it's been a mild winter? I don't know. Lovely surprise though. Going to be quite honest with you here, we haven't sorted the bean bed out yet. All these, well, apart from the weeds, all these are the dead bean stems, and the idea was, and perhaps still is, to just trim these, leave them on the ground and cover them, obviously because we're going for the no dig. And I know a lot of people say leave your bean roots into the ground because they've got those things that help store nitrogen on them, but as far as I know, I think the same is true of the actual bean stalks themselves. So anyway, these are going to get chopped up finely with the strimmer, and then we'll cover them, put a layer of something or other over the top, and then let them just rot down and do their own thing. Saying that, look, we got halfway. That was probably done in November. January, December, yeah, we're a couple of months on now, we haven't gone very far. But it's early days, isn't it? It's early days. If we look over there, I'm going to walk. Oh, you shouldn't walk on beds. Jane, you shouldn't walk on the bed. I know I shouldn't, but I'm doing it. Right, if we look over here, this is where... Oh, the chickens have heard them here. We'll go and see them in a minute. This is where I've put the green manure. If you remember, I'll put a link to the video. And let's just have a little look. We shall see. As I say, it's difficult to tell what's green manure and what's not. That looks like it's supposed to be there. That looks like something that's come from a seed I put in. Whereas that is one of the things I was trying to pull out. So I've got to say, I know it's January and I know it's been cold, but I would have expected more of a response by now. And what I can see at the moment is just still quite a lot of soil, but we'll see. It's meant to be warming up over the next week or two, so I'll probably be eating my words very, very shortly. But that is the central bit. We covered this bit here with polythene. Again, you can see that's blown off, that needs putting back. To be honest, there's a lot of tidying up to do. And this side was with cardboard, which you can see is rotting away quite nicely. And also that I didn't put my fork away. Yeah, always put your tools away after you. Yeah. Okay, let's see the next bit. The chard is still going strong, although I will say it's getting quite eaten at the moment, not just by us. But yeah, if on a day like this, just the colours are beautiful. So it is a perennial favourite of ours, but I'll be replacing this with some nice fresh chard just as soon as I can. I'm not sure, can you see that? This is on our central apple tree, and there's a tiny, tiny bud there. So once that's there, hopefully the rest are going to follow. It hasn't had a good prune this year, this tree. I'll be doing some light pruning in a couple of weeks, but yeah, I think by the February tour, this is going to be covered. Fingers crossed. And here we have the kale, which I love, but you can see it's still getting eaten. And even at this time of year, can you see the whitefly there? Let's just show you. There's a white fly coming about. Go on, little fella. See, still alive. I mean, I know it's only been -3, but usually by this time of year you would have expected them to have disappeared. So anything that does get picked really has to have a thorough wash. But I tell you who does like them, the chickens. So that's another reason why our kale is a little bit sparse this year. Yeah, because we've been feeding a little family of 5 feathered friends as well as ourselves. Let's go and give them some. Look at the poor old banana palm. Does this every year, and we always think, oh, it's had it, this year's been its last. But I tell you, in a few months' time, that will be absolutely beautiful. Come on. You're going to come and get some. Hey, hello there. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Okay. Here we are. And some for you too. Are you coming? Come on. What a treat. There we go. Yeah. This is why our kale doesn't last very long. Who's that? Who's missing? Oh. That's my hand. That's my hand. Who's that? Hey? Nice. And I love doing this bit. Here's a harvest we didn't have last year. Oh, look at those! Look at those! Oh! A couple falling down there. But yeah, we're getting on average 3 a day, which is absolutely brilliant at this time of year. So, well done, ladies. Okay, ladies, let's have a little. Oh, they're a little bit muddy. That's a small one. 1, hello, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think one of you started laying again. Have you started laying again? Have you? What about these? What about these? Look at that. What a fine harvest that is. 10 eggs. And they'll be beautiful as well. Okay. Okay, I'm showing you this strip here. We are just above the chicken run there and the beautiful faraway tree. But this strip of grass here never gets anything done to it apart from a strim in the summer. But this is where in a month's time, or in 2 months even, it's absolutely jam-packed with bulbs. We have tulips, tete-a-tete daffodils, we've got bluebells, we've even got the odd fritillary. So I'm just going to have a little look and see if there's any sign of anything yet. I mean, it is only January. But, oh look, 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 look. We have. Is it? Oh no, there we go. Oh look, the more you clear away, the more you see. Can you see that? Okay, so I'm not quite sure what that's going to be. Could be bluebells. Look, actually, see. So, oh look, more. Yeah, the more. That is a proper big clump under there, actually. So this is why this is just left to its own devices. And at some point in the future, yeah, these bulbs will need to be divided. We didn't put them there. I don't know when they were put here, but certainly we are rewarded with about a month's worth of beautiful flowers right along this stretch. And as you can see, yeah, just found those now. You know, sometimes you've got really, you've got to look really close to see what's going on, but you can guarantee nature's taking its course and they'll be up before long. Rhubarb's doing well. It's just where it should be at this time of year. So looking forward to that. It's just lovely to see colour, isn't it? Look how red that stem is. Beautiful. We've also been harvesting the last of our red cabbage, which I've got to say, we call it red, but it's almost like a neon purple. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it is. It's beautiful colour. I think this variety is called cabula, something like that, but it's such a lovely sweet variety to have, so I would certainly recommend it and certainly will be trying it again. So there we go, that was the January tour, and really, like I say, there's not a lot to see. There's quite a bit of promise of things to come, but I was in two minds as to whether to do a tour in January, because for those very reasons, but what it gives me as a reference point is a bit of a starting point, really, to see where, you know, how far we're going to have come by the February tour, etc. But just being distracted here. This is Scratty. So called because when we first got her, when we first took her on, she was in molt, which means, yes, you were, which means you look very, very sorry for yourself. And it's when they're replacing their feathers, so they tend to have a lot of feathers missing. And believe me, once you take the feathers off a chicken, they're not pretty. And so she looked so sorry for herself, so we took her on. She was supposed to be called Lady Violet to go along with the other ladies, but there was no way we could give her that name. So she was known as Scratty, and she's turned out to be the most beautiful chicken. You're not quite used to being held, are you? No, you're not quite sure what to make of it. But she's the one who gives us the biggest eggs as well, so yeah, well done, Scratty. She was a good choice. Okay, you're talking too much. I'm going to put it back in our little thing now. Wait, what's going on? What's going on? Do you want to go back home? Shall I put you in your little thing? Ah, there we go now. She's back in her run. She's actually, you can't see, but she's actually staring at me now from the other side of the run as if she's been terribly, terribly betrayed and she wants to come out again. But she's not coming. She needs a little bit more training, I think. But yeah, so promise of things to come, starting point for the rest of the year. I haven't planted any seeds yet, and I don't intend to for at least a couple of weeks. My first ones that are going to be going in will be sweet peas, and I'm going to look at putting them in around about beginning of February, first couple of weeks in February. But as for everything else, I'm leaving it for now, but that's because I don't grow chilies from seed. I might put my peppers in, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so even though we have lovely days like this, you just don't know what's around the corner, and I'm sure we've got far colder temperatures to come. So on that note, I'm going to take my harvest of eggs and red cabbage home and try and concoct a recipe using up the two of them. It'll probably be omelette based. Do come along to the Facebook group. I say it every time, lovely, lovely group. Please subscribe. I'm having a bit of a with my subscriber numbers at the moment, so it'd be really, really nice to just see a few more of you sort of signed up to the YouTube channel, and come along and take a look at some of the pictures on Instagram as well, because they all go together to make up a much more holistic view of what's going on up here and in the garden at home. So yeah, take care, keep warm, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. You silly chicken. What are you waiting for?